And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Arcadia Quest Inferno. Now Arcadia Quest Inferno is a expansion slash standalone game for Arcadia Quest. And I'm treating it as an expansion today. So if you've never played Arcadia Quest before, you definitely can pick this up and play this. But if you want to learn what I think of that, hint, I love the game, one of my favorite games of all time, you can watch my original review of Arcadia Quest. So in this review, I'm basically just going to be taking a look at the new additions, the new heroes, the new monsters, the new equipment, and the new mechanisms. There's a few mechanisms that are in this. Now obviously, if you can't tell from the title, this is a very demonic type expansion for Arcadia Quest. Arcadia Quest is kind of a chibi type thing where everyone has heads that are 1/3 of their body. They're all a little cutesy. So now you're fighting against cutesy demons to some degree. Let me show you. So this set comes with all the stuff that you would have in the regular Arcadia Quest, from coins to, death curse tokens to dice, right? But it comes with 4 completely new guilds. So for example, maybe you want to play with another guild. So you have the Crow Guild, and you have the Shark Guild, and you have the Serpent Guild, and you have the Tiger Guild, and each of these comes, like for example, these are the Crow Guild tokens, and they come with new things to put on the bottom of your characters. So it's just more colors if you want more colors in the game. So that's basically the basic stuff. The game also comes with a complete rule book that shows you how to play the game. One thing I do like is right here, if you already know how to play Arcadia Quest, this tells you on what pages are the new things that are added. And it has an Infernal campaign book complete with a bunch of tiles. Now these tiles have different, if you notice, it's basically a lot of red. And I found this was a little busy sometimes. It's not so easy to see all the red, but if you like to see angel statues melting in molten lava, you're going to really like this. I mean, it's still pretty cool looking. There's just a lot of red. Before I show you anything else that comes in this game, we really got to talk about the concept of damnation as in this game. These are damnation tokens, and there are various ways that your characters can get these over the course of the game. Sometimes, you're forced to get it. Sometimes it's voluntary. And these do a couple things, well, several things. Sometimes they help your weapon. Sometimes they hurt you when other people attack you. But at the end of a scenario, they don't go away either. There's no way they're automatically healed, although there is stuff that heals them. But at the end of a scenario, for every 2 that a character has, you will get another death curse card, which is frankly pretty annoying. So now that I've shown you them, I can show you some of the stuff in the game because it has to do with that. So for example, we're going to take a look at the starter cards. So you get a different set of starter cards than you get in the original set in this game. You got some normal things here, a dusty blade, a short bow, but you have a vile trident. So for this attack, for any attack that the hero who has this makes, they can voluntarily take a damnation to get an extra attack. Or here, if this attack here does any wounds, you can take 2 damnation to do 1 extra wound to whoever you're attacking. And then the Lifebound is similar to the original set where you can heal a wound from this hero or from an ally close to the target. So these are the base cards, but there's a whole lot of other cards. And again, many of them have to do with the damnation on them. So here we have, for example, a Vicious Ring, where you can take 1 damnation to get an extra reroll. Here at the start of your activation, you can take a damnation to heal a wound. Some of the bows, to even use them, you take damnation, but they're pretty powerful bows. Here, some of them you can take it to add dice to your attack. Here you can take it to deal an extra wound. Here you can take it to do extra dice. Here you can take it to get an extra reroll. Then there's other things that deal with it. For example, here, each hit that's canceled by your defense will do 1 to the attacking hero who comes after you. Here you can take 2 to roll an extra 2 defense dice. If you roll any hits when attacking a hero, you can give them 1 damnation. Your bow and thrown weapons roll +1 if the target has any damnation. So these do more damage to someone. But there is a couple things like these redemption glasses, which will heal 2 wounds and 2 damnation, or 1 and 1. Not everything is about this, though. There's some normal stuff in the game. This one here, this is kind of like a nasty pendant where you can get +2, but you have to take a wound to use it. But there's some basic stuff. The Mega Blade and Uber Blade look like Cloud Strife has lost these, but now we have a chance to use them. We got some, you know, Inferno Plate, Unholy Plate, Ultraviolet Plate. They're just normal armor, so that's cool. A Healing Brace, I like that. Batter Up is a really fun card. If you roll any bursts, you can activate another allied hero this turn, which is pretty neat. This one here, when you die, everyone near you takes 2 wounds each. I like any sort of thing like that. This just gives +2 on all rolls. We have Angelic Rings that give bonuses to other attack cards. And the Chakram, or the Golden Chakram, I really like this weapon here. It's a ranged weapon, but when you're attacking a close enemy, you use melee icons. It's a really cool, it's like a dual-use weapon. Another weapon I like are the Katars, which can be activated twice. It's a weaker sword to some degree, but it can be activated multiple times. Hey, and there's new heroes in the game. Look at this guy. He stands head and shoulders above everyone else, and he's rounder than everybody else. But there's a lot of cool heroes here. You can see the different models, and of course the models, as always, are really great. But let's take a look at the actual heroes. So we'll start with one thing I noticed that they did with these heroes, including Mr. Super Musclebound here, is they have several heroes in this set that have to do with a specific weapon. Like, for example, if he's using a lance or exotic weapon, target doesn't have defense. When she's using a bow or thrown weapon, then she can target an extra close enemy. When he's using a sword, burst do an extra hit. And he's good with ranged. Jack can switch someone's upgrade cards with someone else. Really annoying person to play against. Sybil is... I think Sybil is a hero I would never use, because when using a magic attack, she can take a death curse to roll an extra die. Why would I want to take a death curse, like ever, just to get an extra die? No. This is one I don't see using at all. Fortunately, there's some other really good ones. Natasha here does an extra wound to flank targets. Mark, when he's attacking, doesn't exhaust a melee card when they're close. That's pretty neat. That's really neat, basically, if you're next to somebody. This one's one of my favorite, Jor. He has no special abilities, but he has 7 hit points. That's pretty neat. And you can give him armor. This guy's a bear. Jamie here, you can exhaust a hero card to move a close character up to 2 spaces away, so she has a chance to kind of bring somebody with her. Trandir, when using a magic attack, you can exhaust his hero card to target an extra enemy, so you can hit 2 enemies. And then finally, Izzy, my favorite character from this set. When you kill a monster, you put the monster on your card, and you can use it as a healing or refreshing potion. I don't want to know exactly what Izzy is doing, but that's pretty cool. Now, there are 5 other heroes that are included in this game, but these heroes are different. These heroes are angels. Now, you'll notice these come in a different color, and over the course of the campaign, you have a chance to free these angels. If you free them, they will join you as a hero. And what you're going to do as you utilize these angels, once you get one, they join your roster. So you have your 3 characters plus an angel, and you can switch them out and use them. If you do not use them like that, then they are going to become villains that you will have to deal with at the end, which is a really cool feature of this game. I like the fact that they become villains, and they're really cool models. I mean, this guy is just really neat. I really like them. I also like the color that they made these guys in. Now, they say that the heroes are more powerful than regular hero. I would say they're slightly more powerful. To what I mean by that is I would have no problem with someone sticking an angel in their roster of heroes. I might argue and say you can only have one of them. They do have good stats, like she has 1 defense and 6, and she can always move 1 space, or close allies can move 1 space. Angel Eyes here, you can unexhaust a card from an ally for each burst. That's a really good ability. This guy, when he does wounds, he can heal his allies. This one, allied heroes in sight of him get +1 to all their rolls. And so they kind of help other people. They help their allies, their angels. And then Justicar here, which is my favorite of all these, not only because of his model, but whenever he does a wound, he can remove a death token or a damnation from an ally. Well, whatever about the damnation, but the death token, getting rid of those, I really like this guy. Like I said, these people become villains. And they are not the only villains that are in this game, these angels. We have a demoness here. She's kind of like the basic. She and the harpy are the two basic villains, and I believe there's a couple models for each of them. So when you're fighting them, you have these are kind of just the basic monsters to kill. Cerberus, which is a dog. This is a really nasty enemy, can attack multiple times. Then we have a demon pitcher. This is another giant model here, where when he hits you, you will take damnation. Then we have, and I think this guy is called Belly Yaw. Belly Yaw, Jelly Belly, and he ignores hits based on how much damnation you have. So if you have damnation, he's going to be harder to kill. And then there's a couple mega creatures, okay? We have the Judge and the Overlord. The Judge is this giant guy here who rolls an extra die for each damnation on a hero. So this guy is a huge model. But even bigger than him is the Underlord. Look at that thing. That thing is sitting on his throne. He's so lazy, he will not even stand up to fight you. But he doesn't need to, because not only does he have massively powerful stats, but when he attacks, every burst he rolls hits one of your other heroes. What? What is that all about? Really kind of annoying. So that's basically the different things that are involved in this game, kind of giving you an overview. But there's one last card here, and these are Brimstone cards. Now, Brimstone cards, the different scenarios will tell you, so they'll say, hey, set Brimstone cards up in a certain area. And when you move into a Brimstone card area, you can reveal it for 1 movement point. They are almost always something good for you and often not good for other people. So here the enemy hero with the most damnation is placed back in their starting area. Here the enemy hero with the most damnation exhausts all their cards. 1 hero from each enemy guild takes 1 damnation. Whoever has the most damnation on the board takes 2 wounds. Here, activate a villain. You can pick a villain and move them. Here, all enemy heroes that have damnation must exhaust one of their attack cards or take a wound. So these things are always going to mess with other people, and you can see they're tied very closely to the damnation mechanism. There you go. Now, as I said at the beginning, really like Arcadia Quest. I find it a very enjoyable game. And so I'm glad to have more stuff. If I was only getting one, Arcadia Quest or Arcadia Quest Inferno, it wouldn't even be close. I would pick Arcadia Quest any day of the week. That's for 2 major reasons. One, I'm not a huge fan of the whole Inferno thing. Now, I love the angels. I think the angels are cool. And I don't really even mind fighting the demons, but it's just like, it's so demon. Gets kind of old after a while. The boards, the whole thing is just like, oh, okay, I get it. We're fighting on Brimstone. And it's okay. The other, though, is the damnation mechanism. Now, setting aside the part that it does get a little awkward after a while, being like, you get damnation tokens, you get damnation tokens. It's a very heavy word to be lightly throwing around. But not even that. I'm just not a big fan of, I will take bad things to give myself a better attack. That's never been a mechanism I like that much. Like, I'll hurt myself, but I'll hurt someone else better. And I can see some people will really enjoy that mechanism. But this game is, drenched in it. If you don't like that mechanism, it's too bad. It's here to stay. It's on the monsters. It's on the hero. Well, it's not on the heroes, but it's on the monsters. It's on the equipment. It's on the Brimstone cards. By the way, I like the Brimstone cards. I hope that they would have that kind of show up in the regular Arcadia Quest. I like those cards that you can reveal and do something to other people. It gives you something else to do. It gives you other things to go for. So lest you think that I'm saying I don't like this, it's not that. I think this is fine. I really like the heroes. I'm adding all those heroes to my set. Really like the angels. I wish that like I said, I think that you can play with the angels and you just say, hey, you can have a maximum of 1 angel on your side. There's 5 angels, so there's enough to go around if you really want an angel, because they're pretty neat and they're fun to use as heroes. The models in this game are really good, and I like the fact that the game comes with everything you need. I like the fact that there's 4 factions now. Hey, now we can see the Shark faction go up against one of the original factions. I like the fact that I have more dice to mess with now. Now each person can have a whole handful of dice. I like a lot of the new equipment, although, like I said, a lot of it revolves around damnation, and I would prefer, I think, not necessarily to remove that mechanism, but to throw it in with all the original equipment and have it be there just a little bit less. That being said, I think a lot of people are really going to get a kick out of this. If you like the original one, you're probably going to like this one. I like it. Mostly theming issues and campaign issues, but you're getting a whole ton of content again, and this game is still one of my favorite games of all time. Folks, that's Arcadia Quest Inferno. Dice Tower Judgment approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!
There.